Hello, I'm Fritz, and in this tutorial we are going to be looking at solving quadratic equations by the factorization method. Let us start by taking this example where x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Before you start, you must make sure that the equation is in the general form. We now find the two correct factors which are required. Let us move on to the rough sheet and see how this is done. So we start by stating the values of a, b, and c. In this equation, the value of a is 1, the value of b is plus 3, and the value of c is plus 2. We now find the product AC. AC is equal to 1 times 2, which gives us 2. After this, we look for the pairs of factors of AC whose product is AC. So we are going to look for two numbers such that when we multiply, the result is going to give us 2. So we have 1 and 2, and we equally have minus 1 and minus 2. We now add these pairs of factors and see which of them is going to give us the value of b. 1 plus 2 gives us 3, and minus 1 plus minus 2 gives us minus 3. So which of these factors is the correct one? Remember that the value of b is plus 3. So the one that when we add gives us plus 3 is actually the correct pair. So 1 plus 2 giving us 3 means our correct factors are plus 1 and plus 2. We now move on to our equation. However, remember that the key is to get the correct factors. Our correct factors are now 1 and 2, and we will write them as plus 1x plus 2x. We now move on to our equation. We have x squared. I'm going to replace plus 3x by the correct factors plus 1x plus 2x. So I have plus 1x plus 2x and plus 2 giving us equal to 0. In the next step, I'm going to be grouping in 2's such that they can factorize. So the first group we have x squared plus 1x, and the second group we have 2x plus 2. Factorizing the first group with the highest common factor of x gives us x outside, and x squared divided by x gives us x, plus 1x divided by x gives us plus 1. We bring down the plus sign, and the second group, the highest common factor, as you can see, is 2. So we are going to bring out the 2 from brackets, and 2x divided by 2 gives us x, and plus 2 divided by plus 2 gives us plus 1 equals 0. Note that at this step, the values in brackets must be the same. Now that the values in brackets are the same, I'm just going to copy out just a single bracket. That's x plus 1, and the remaining terms outside the brackets, that's x plus 2, I put in another bracket and equates to 0. Factorization is complete at this step, but we have to look at the values of x. After this, we now have x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. Remember, if the product of two numbers is 0, it means that either the first is 0 or the second is 0. That's the principle we are applying here. So solving, we have x equals minus 1 and x equals minus 2. Let us take another example. We have x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So moving on to our rough work plane, we have a to be equal to 1, b equals minus 4, and c equals 3. We now look for AC. AC is a times c, so we have 1 times 3 giving us 3. We now then look for the pairs of factors of AC such that when we multiply we have AC. So the pairs of factors of 3 that when we multiply we have 3 are, we have 1 and 3, and we equally have minus 1 and minus 3. Adding these two, we have 4, and we equally have minus 4. But the value of b in this question is minus 4. So the pair that gives us minus 4 is actually the correct one. And here we have minus 1 and minus 3. Moving back to our equation, we are going to replace that minus 4 by minus 1x minus 3x as we have seen before. We now group in 2's. The first group is x squared minus 1x, and the second group is 3x minus 3x plus 3. The minus sign is in between. Factorizing the first group, the highest common factor is x. Bring it out of the brackets. And x squared divided by x gives us x, minus 1x divided by x gives us minus 1. We bring down the minus sign. In the second group, the highest common factor is 3. So we bring that 3 out of brackets. Then minus 3x divided by minus 3 gives us plus x. And plus 3 divided by minus 3 gives us minus 1 equals 0. When you look critically, you see that the two brackets have the same values, x minus 1. So I'm just going to copy just one of those brackets out. And what is left out of the brackets? That is x minus 3. I put in another bracket and equal it to 0. So according to the product, we have x minus 1 times x minus 3. So either x minus 1 equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. When you solve the first one, you're going to have x equals 1 and the second x equals 3. So we're done here. With this example, we have 2x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0. The values of a, b, and c are, you have 2, 1, and minus 3 respectively. Our AC is going to be 2 times minus 3, giving us minus 6. Looking for pairs of factors of minus 6, that when you multiply, you have minus 6. You have 1 and minus 6. Equally have minus 1 and plus 6. We have 2 and minus 3 as well as minus 2 and plus 3. We now add each of these pairs. 1 plus minus 6 gives us minus 5. B is 1, so it's not the correct one. Minus 1 plus 6 gives us plus 5. It is not 1, so it is not correct. 2 plus minus 3 gives us minus 1, but our B is supposed to be plus 1. So the final one, minus 2 plus 3 gives us plus 1. So that's the correct set, and our correct pair of factors, we have minus 2x and 3x. So moving on back to our equation, we have 2x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 3 equals 0. Remember, we have replaced the plus x by these correct pairs of factors. Minus 2x plus 3x equals 0. We now group. The first group is 2x squared minus 2x, and the second group is 3x minus 3. So with the first group, the highest common factor is first of all 2. Then when we look again critical, you see that x is equally another factor, so we bring out x as well. We now open our brackets. Now 2x squared divided by 2x gives us x, and minus 2x divided by 2x gives us minus 1. We bring down the plus sign. In the second group, the highest common factor is 3, so we bring out the 3, and plus 3x divided by plus 3 gives us x, and minus 3 divided by plus 3 gives us minus 1. All of that equals 0. Now we have the same thing in the two brackets, so we just copy out one of the brackets, x minus 1, and what is left outside the brackets, 2x plus 3, we put in another bracket and equate to 0. At this level, either x minus 1 equals 0 or 2x plus 3 equals 0. Solving for the first one, x equals 1. With the second, you have 2x to be equal to minus 3, and x is equal to minus 3 on 2. So these are the two roots of this equation. Now we have 5x minus x squared equals 4. According to this equation, it is not in the general form. So first of all, have to rearrange. Rearranging the equation gives us minus x squared plus 5x minus 4 equals 0. Remember, 0 must be on the right hand side of the equation alone. Then the values of a, b, and c are respectively minus 1, 5, and minus 4. Note that this equation can equally be rearranged in the form x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. So our AC is equal to minus 1 times minus 4, which gives us plus 4. Pairs of factors of AC that when you multiply, we have 4. We have 1 and 4. We have minus 1 and minus 4. 2 and 2. Minus 2 and minus 2. When we add, we have 1 and 4 to be the correct pairs of factors, since our B is equal to 5. Now moving on back to our equation, we have minus x squared plus 1x plus 4x minus 4 equals 0. And grouping, we have the first group. We have the highest common factor to be minus x. Now minus x squared divided by minus x equals x, and plus 1x divided by minus x equals minus 1. We bring down the plus sign. The second group, the highest common factor is 4. We bring it out of the brackets, and plus 4x divided by plus 4 gives us x, and minus 4 divided by plus 4 gives us minus 1. All of that equals 0. Our highest common factor still is x minus 1. We bring it out of brackets, and what's left, we put in another bracket. Minus x plus 4 equals 0. So solving at this step gives us x minus 1 equals 0, or minus x plus 4 equals 0. So x equals 1 or x equals 4. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and nice meeting you.